Hi everyone, my name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and this is part of my series of self-improvement paths or pathways. I like to begin my week with a certain mindset, a certain mantra, a certain practice that makes moving forward in my career and in my life a little bit more fun and a little bit easier. The examples that I'll share for you of what I'm talking about will come from my work as an audiobook narrator and also draw from what I observe from my audiobook students. The principles can be applied to just about any process in your life, I think, but you try it and let me know. This week's path is one of the strangest I've thought of, but it like all the other paths, it came to me, so I'm just going to go with it. This is called Drink from Your Mirage. What the heck does that mean? Well, I was thinking about how I would love to be like one of my idols, various idols. This is sort of like the idea of what would so-and-so do. But it goes beyond that, because whereas that implies a certain amount of sacrifice, a certain amount of toughness, a certain amount of integrity, what I'm talking about here actually implies a state of being that I think that person has in my fantasies. In other words, let's take an example, one of my heroes from the music world, Michael Stipe from REM. I love REM's songs, lyrics, environment, atmosphere, and it's almost impossible for me to think that anything in Michael Stipe's life has any sort of grit or boredom or dullness or yuckiness, because there's just such sweet lushness and just hauntingness that comes from his work. Okay, I know that's a mirage. I know that's not true. But what I can do is think, okay, let me take that mirage. If I were in the state of mind that I project Michael Stipe to be in, what would my life look like? How would I approach things? In this case, for example, I'm doing some speed test reading of a book that I'm working on, and it can sometimes get a little scary and discouraging. Am I ever going to have the time to finish this? Or, get this done, get it laid out? Well, let's think about my mirage of Michael Stipe. He would already be successful and have something successful on the way, because that is what I hear when I hear his music, and it is delicious, and it will be something slightly otherworldly in terms of its fun and its quality of production. It's already done. Great. Well, with that mindset, I can actually relax and go forward and even look out for examples of how that's true. Same thing for my students. Think of somebody that you idolize in the audiobook world and think about how they started out. If you're getting beginner's blues or uncertainty, it doesn't mean necessarily that they had to have some major sacrifice or blood, sweat, and tears. It can simply mean that, okay, whatever you're going through, just imagine that that's what that person was going through, and that they made it safely to the other side, and even spectacularly to the other side, and you've already made it. So be that mirage that you think of when you think of the other person. Drink from the mirage. That's what I'm going to be trying this week. I'll get back to you with my results. You get back to me with yours. Thank you for joining me on my paths, and as your narrator and teacher, I hope that our paths cross again real soon.